Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, please click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. I wanted to do a video on the Pacific Division. You know, it's a fun division to watch this year. A lot of these teams are neck and neck in points. And, there's three of them that are in the playoffs as of now. Two are in the wild card, and one team is trying to make it in, and the other two teams are kind of pretty much out of it by now. So let's just talk about what happened. But before I get into this, I want to talk about the Battle of Alberta game last night between Calgary and Edmonton. That was just a fun game to watch. It really was. This is a fun rivalry for a very long time. And the whole Kazhin and Kachuk thing is amping it up even more now. I always love to watch these two teams when they get at it. And it lived up to its hype. It was a hard-fought game. It was a hard-hitting game. It was a feisty game. And it was a playoff atmosphere. You know, we all were waiting to see what was going to happen between these two guys when they meet up. You know, they met up at the face-off dot. They started chirping early on, but they didn't do anything, so that was good. Then later in the game, they fought each other, and it was a good fight. It really was. And, the Monahan fight with Nugent Hopkins, that was unexpected. I don't pin these two to fight each other, but Monahan got in a couple of shots. Nugent Hopkins looked out of it, threw in a couple of shots later, so it was fun to see these guys fight. And then that whole Mark Giordano incident on Connor McDavid that showed, Connor McDavid showed a lot of emotion out of this, broke his stick on the bench, was fired up. This just both teams were fired up. It was awesome. And you had a lot of the not big names adding up on the score sheet. So that was cool how the whole team got together to both go into a shootout. And, it was cool when Draisaitl went in. Rittich made the poke save, threw the stick up in the air. It was a fun game to watch. These fans are given a treat when these two teams get together. So I'm on the East Coast. I don't get to see a lot of these times these teams play each other, but I was able to catch this game, and it was fun to watch. Let's get into it. As far as the bottom teams, you have the LA Kings with 41 points, you have the Anaheim Ducks with 45 points, and you have San Jose Sharks with 48 points. Now, the LA Kings, they're pretty much not going to make the playoffs, and I believe the Ducks aren't either with 45 points. The Sharks with 48 points are making a case to get in, but losing Hurdle for the year with a torn ACL and MCL in his left knee, that's going to hurt their situation trying to get in. So it's going to be hard for them to get it. If they can go on a win streak, do they add now that they don't have Hurdle for the remainder of the year? That's going to be an interesting question to see what they do going forward. Trade deadline is February 24th, so it's going to be very interesting to see what all these teams do. LA is definitely going to be a seller, so you're hearing Toffoli's name out there. You're hearing Alec Martinez's name out there. As far as Anaheim's a team that's kind of trying to retool on the fly. You're hearing Getzlaf's name in trade rumors. And I haven't heard Lindholm's name, but I'm kind of starting to hear it being floated around now. And with Anaheim, the GMs came out and said that he's looking to take on bad contracts to, get picks and prospects back to help out their rebuild. So a lot of teams will contact them for players. Getzlaf has garnished a lot of interest. So we'll see what happens with them as, trade deadline comes. San Jose, you're hearing Dylan's name a lot. Besides that, they're trying to make a playoff push. They're 9 points out of the bottom spot. They really have to go on a tear to get in, so it's going to be hard for them to make it into the playoffs at this point. There's roughly around 30 games left, 30 or so games, so it's going to be tough. Now let's go to the other teams. The top teams, Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. They have spots in the playoffs positions right now, and you have the wild card positions held by Vegas and the Coyotes with 1 and 2. So Vancouver has 62 points. They have around $30,000 in cap space. They have no first-round pick, but they have all their other picks. And as far as Vancouver, they're a fun team to watch. They really are. They're coached well by Travis Green. They have a lot of key young players in Besser, Pedersen, Horvat. You have Quinn Hughes having a great year. You have the addition of JT Miller's really paying off. It's just a fun team to watch. They really changed their whole dynamic and adding a play of grit, a play of hard-working lines. And, I don't see them adding a lot. I could see them adding like a bottom six forward that can help on the scoreboard. But I don't think they're going to overpay for anything. I think there's still a team that's going to add through the draft. And I don't see them making a huge trade. but I could see them adding something come near the trade deadline. You have Calgary. Calgary has 60 points. They have around 1.7 million in cap space. They have all their picks in their 7 rounds, and a lot of people are saying that the Calgary needs a physical element, but they have Kachuk, they have Lucic, so they have players that can play physical. Their talented forwards are more on the smaller side, so maybe they can add a player that can do both. They can add scoring, they can add some sort of physical play, because once they get into these long 7-game series playing against your rivals, even if it's that, it's going to be very taxing on this team. So can they add like a Kreider or a Toffoli, one of those biggish forwards that can help score and have speed to keep up with all their players? So Calgary's going to be an interesting situation. They have a lot of depth down their lineup. Their defense is pretty solid. And, just if their goalie can keep it up. We'll see with Calgary, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that make a quick move. Edmonton, they have 58 points. They have around 1.25 million in cap space. They have all their picks. And they're going to be an interesting team to see what happens. Ken Holland has come out and said he's not going to waste any picks or prospects on a rental. So can they add a player who's going to want to sign there, or a player that can help the team out in a bottom 6 role? They definitely need wingers. It's pretty apparent. They need wingers. When it comes to the playoffs with Edmonton, you can't top load a line and have the rest of your 2 or 3 other lines try to, keep up the slack while you have all your talent on the first line. They need to disperse their talent. They need to have them on separate lines to add depth and to play against other teams' pairings. So I think they will get a winger to help out their situations. Don't know if it's a top 6 winger. I don't know if it's a bottom 6 winger. Yamamoto has really come up and played well the last couple of games, so that's helped out their situation. Chason's been adding some goals here and there, so that's helping out their situation. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think they may tinker with the defense. They may not. I really don't think they're going to do that or touch their goaltending situation. I think they're going to try to add some more up front. So, we'll see what happens. And they re-signed Cash into a pretty good deal, too, so that's good. Going to the Vegas Golden Knights, they have 57 points. They have around 726,000 in cap space. And this is a team that recently changed their coach. They fired Gallant. They brought in DeBoer. They have just a slew of talent on this team. They have a great top six in 2 lines. They have depth throughout their lineup. They have good, solid defense. And, they have goaltending if Marc-Andre Fleury could play well throughout the year. I know he's been a little bit off this year, but he's a playoff person that really rises in the playoffs. So I think they'll be fine. I think they can, if they can get in. I think they're going to add like a bottom 6 piece possibly that can help out with some offense. Not that they need it, but I think they're going to want something like that. Maybe a physical presence. I don't know. I haven't heard any names being rumored with them, but they got a lot of picks to unload. This year they have an additional 2nd. They have an additional 3rd. They don't have a 4th, but they have all the rest of their picks. And next year they have 3 second-round picks. So if they're willing to make a move, if they want to add a bad contract that they see that they don't want on their team, and these picks, I think they could bring in a good player to help out this year. So keep an eye out in Vegas, because I think they will make a move. The owners want to win. They do. That's what they said when they fired the coach. They saw something that was up. They're a team that's been... They went to the finals very early. They went to the playoffs each year. So they're a team that wants to win, and they want to get to the playoffs. So I think they will do everything they can. And the Coyotes, they have 57 points. They have 0 cap space. And with the recent Taylor Hall trade, I really don't see them doing anything. I think they got enough scoring up front. The defense is pretty solid, and their goaltending's okay. So I don't think they're going to give up any more picks or prospects. They really didn't want to budge with us to give up Hayden or Soderberg or Soderstrom, whatever that defenseman's name is. But I don't think they're going to make any trades. I don't think they really don't. If they're going to add something, they're not going to add anything big. They're going to add possibly a bottom 6 player to help out, round out their lineup. But I think the Coyotes are pretty much set after the whole trade. They went after their guy early. They got him. So we'll see what happens with them going forward. So it's going to be a very fun division to watch the rest of the year, heading into the trade deadline and into the playoffs to see who gets in. Keep an eye out for this division, because I have a feeling that once one team starts making a move, I think the others will try to follow suit. especially if it's a team like Calgary that makes a move first. Then the onus is on Ken Holland. Will he make a move, seeing that Calgary made a move to help their lineup situation? It's going to be very interesting, so we'll see what happens. But, thank you all for watching. Comment below. Let me know which team you guys and girls like, what players you want to see go, what players you want to see added to help your chances of getting into the playoffs and helping your run into the playoffs. And, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and as always, subscribe. Help grow the channel. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the night. Have a great day tomorrow, and take care.